And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo. You're listening to the GrishaCast.
Welcome to GrishaCast, episode 115. In this episode, we will be discussing the short story When Water Sang Fire from the Language of Thorns. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry from Nashville, Tennessee. This is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created by the one, the only, Lee Bardugo. Moi saviani casters.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hi. So, shout out to our listener cities.
First, we have Aachen, Germany.
Woo! Thank you.
Yes.
Next, we're going to Duncan, Canada.
Yay!
Woo! So,
Thank you.
we love you all. And so, we have been interviewing just some little spotlight interviews recently. I'm sure you have noticed for the upcoming Sinners and Saints album, which is created by the Bookish Songs Collective that comes out June 10th. And we all are excited about that. And we have a very special little interview that we have for you right now. So here we go. Hi, Kendra.
Hi!
Oh,
How are you guys?
we are so good. We're so glad to have you back. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know you're really, really, really busy.
No, of course. It's an honor to be here. I'm very excited.
Oh, well, could you tell us a little bit about where the inspiration for your song Ruthless came from?
Of course. So, anyone who listens to my music might have already figured out that Kaz Brecker is my favorite character in the Grishaverse. And so, when the whole idea of doing a Bookish album came up with lots of, really incredible artists, I was immediately like, oh my gosh, I've got to write another song for Kaz. Like, that would be so cool. And it had been a bit since I had done that. And I was like, this is the most perfect opportunity. And so, yeah, it kind of just came from, Kaz's dark side and his, ability to just do whatever needs to be done to get what he needs or wants. And I had an amazing time collaborating with my partner, Nino Tosco, on this song. And he's the producer. And I am so, so, so excited to share it with the world.
That's awesome. Well, let's listen to our teaser that we have of Ruthless. So, here we go.
There are no more saints that ran away. They left me to this fate. Look what I became. I'm the ruthless type. I'm the sinner man. Crawling from the bottom with my dirty hands. I'm the faithless kind. They don't understand.
So good.
Wow. That's incredible.
It really is.
Thank you.
I think Terry and I both can agree that it has been incredible watching you just since we've known you, which is a very short time in your musical career, but it still is incredible to hear that.
Yes.
And just, you've grown so much and all your songs are incredible and we love them. It's so amazing to watch you grow. So that is so good.
It means the world to me. Thank you.
Well, our listeners, I'm sure, are really ready to hear that. However, you're going to have to wait a little bit. All of us do. That album will not come out until the 10th of June. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, real quickly, can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like to work with all these different artists for this amazing album, Sinners and Saints?
Oh my gosh, of course. It's the hugest honor to get to, be a part of this project with so many just amazingly talented people. And getting to know them as individuals and as musicians has been just the best experience. And so much hard work has gone into this album. Like, I mean, you think, oh yeah, I'll just contribute a song and, it's just that simple, but it's not. It requires, so much effort, and it's so fun. One of just the most, I'm never going to forget this experience, It's just amazing that we all got to come together like this. And it also, I think, was just a matter of figuring out how to do everything. And we actually have a GoFundMe in our Instagram bio. If anyone is looking to, support us in that way, if you're interested. And we're at Bookish_songs, if you want to hear the album when it comes out. But yeah, no, getting to know all of these incredible artists has just been the best experience, and I could not be more excited for the world to hear all of these songs. It's the coolest.
That's so cool. I love that everybody got to collaborate and make this album, and it seems really special, and I know all of us are really excited to hear all of it. So before you go, will you please tell our listeners how they can follow you? And because we all love you, and I know that we've probably got some new listeners that haven't actually heard any of your songs or the earlier episodes that we have, so you might be new to them. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us how to follow you.
Yeah, of course. If you want to follow the Bookish Songs group, we're called Bookish Songs Collective, at Bookish_songs on Instagram. And then I'm at Kendra Dantes Music. I've got Bookish songs already out as well. So, yeah. I guess that's about it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Kendra. It has yet again been an honor to have you, and we just love it every single time. So you'll have to come back again, and for a longer period. This was a little too short for us. So,
well, thank you so much. It's been amazing getting to be here.
oh, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye, Kendra.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Well, that was fabulous.
I'm so excited to hear all these songs.
I know. And it's so exciting. And I just want to hear the rest of that one.
Yes.
And it sounded so good. And so I know we just talked about Kendra a lot, but it's so neat to watch her grow. She's amazing.
Mm.
So
She's a GrishaCast OG.
she really is.
Yeah.
I need to look and see when she first came on. That'd be really interesting to see how long ago that was. Okay, well, so how are you, madame?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay, well, I'm making it. Yeah, we have a lot going on, but it's exciting. I've got my pet turtle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been kind of cool. I don't think I've talked about that on the podcast, or have I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, yeah, I have. Thank you, memory. Okay, yep. That's right. I called myself Dory. Okay, so yeah, it's exciting that we've got another day off tomorrow.
Yes, summer break has started for the children.
Yeah.
Not for us,
No.
but for the children.
Yeah.
So the children are now home.
Which is not a holiday for the parents. We love you, kids. We do.
It's better when they're older, though. It's much more difficult when they're wee ones.
Yeah. So it's exciting though. I'm excited to see Caden's grown a lot. It's really neat to see how much he's grown, and I'm excited for him. I really am. He did really well in school this year.
Good. Because
So.
you guys are doing a great job parenting.
Aw. Well, we've got a good kid. He's really sweet. So, yeah,
I don't know if everybody could hear
I don't think they could.
Chris scoffing.
That, by the way, that was put in there for later after I've passed on and Caden wants to come back and listen to what his father is saying. He can hear that. So, yeah, make that your ringtone, Caden, in the future.
Future Caden.
Future Caden, when you hear this. Actually, he probably never will because I'm sure he's just going to be like, yeah, I don't know.
Or in the future, this is going to be impossible to hear, just like all of our past music things, like CDs and DVDs and things.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? So,
I love watching people try to sell DVDs and CDs and things. I'm like, where are you going to hear them? I don't
Yeah.
I don't have a player of any sort. Like there's a new band that I've been talking to and they're like, can we send you a CD? And I'm like, sure.
But
I don't know where to play that.
do you not have one in your car doesn't have one?
No.
Oh.
My car does not have a CD player. I don't have one in the house. The only thing I can think of is to stick it in the PS4
Yes, and that does work.
and just like listen to it in the living room. I don't know. It's odd now.
You're right. It is.
Yeah. Does your car have a CD player?
It does.
Oh.
Mine does, and mine's not. It's not like that old. I just think it. I don't know. I can't remember what year mine is.
Mine's a 2017, so
Chris,
they just decided not to.
what do you remember? What year my car is? Okay,
That makes
2013.
sense.
Yeah, I guess. Well, now you can't even make like a mix.
No.
Yeah.
It's all, and then my phone doesn't even have an aux plug.
Oh, I know.
So it's all Bluetooth. No, okay. We should probably stop this conversation because it makes it sound like 100 years old.
Is okay. These are our children, and we love you all. So don't come for us.
Because it used to be you'd get like in the car on a road trip with somebody and you would pass the aux cord back and forth. Now you have to like stop somewhere and let them pair up with your car. It's much more complicated.
Oh my God. I know. Although I really am enjoying like how you don't really have to buy that much music anymore. You kind of like buy a subscription.
Yeah, but you don't actually like own the music. So
Yeah.
once that service is gone, then like everything's gone.
Oh, well, I just don't ever plan on ever not having Apple Music. So that will never go away.
I'll say this: what I'm excited about in the end times when the zombie apocalypse happens, I still have my iPod, my 64 gig iPod,
Mm-hmm.
and I have all of my music loaded on it, and I keep that thing in its precious state because one day when the streaming stops and the internet stops, I will be the only person with music.
I still have mine. I have two. So,
Hoping that there's electricity.
yeah, because that's only going to work until that dies.
Because I do have, I think, now that we're talking about CDs, I think I have a Walkman somewhere
Oh my God.
in
that's
the depths of hell of storage. But that would require
incredible.
batteries. But
I remember when I don't have it anymore, but the old school Game Boy, I remember I found it, it was a while ago, but I mean, like, it was like, whew, it was torn up, and that's crazy. I forgot about Walkmans, and I remember how cool, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I don't care. I remember when CDs, like, I mean, you know, and you had your portable CD player that you're carrying everywhere, well, and then you wanted to go work out. Well, jogging with a portable CD player don't work too well.
it would stop and
And
skip.
skip.
Yep.
So that didn't work out too well. I remember when the iPod, I remember my brother having an iPod and showing it to me for the first time. And I was like, oh my God. Because I used to be this huge music snob. And I had my friend, Rebecca Brammerschley. Hi, Rebecca. I know you're not listening to this, but she is like an OG friend that I've had from my Camp Ramah days. And she was one of my best friends. Anyways, we couldn't wait to see, we saw each other every summer at Camp Ramah. And I would get so excited because we would always look at each other's CD boxes, books, and see what, like, I would look at hers, she would look at mine, and we'd be like, ooh, yeah, we were just big. And we had the big ones, the huge, big CD books. Yep, and then they got stolen too.
Oh.
And then had to try to make that collection, and yeah, that never really happened. I did try, however, and then all of a sudden, I think CDs did just. Okay, so that was a fun story.
Yeah, I was so like into music. Like music was such a huge part of my life, and even musicals. I started doing that at like a really young age.
Yes.
And then freshman year, there was this guy, Justin. All the girls were all over him all the time.
Are you in high school or college?
High school.
Okay.
He had the leather jacket and the VW van, and
Ooh, come on, Grease.
He had money, and literally like people just throw themselves at him. I didn't throw myself at him. I like thought he was cool and I wanted to be him. Like I would look at him and be like, God, I want to be that cool. Like when I grew up, can I be that level of awesome? Because he was just so like, he had the long hair and he was just so like, I don't care about anything. Life is awful. And he had the guitar and he was that guy. And he came over one day randomly. Total random moment. And it was one of those things where like you have to call like all of your friends afterwards and go, oh my God, Justin was here. And they go, you're lying. And you're like, I swear he was here in my bedroom. And he showed me a group called Typo Negative.
Wow.
And they were like hardcore vampire music, and that was my first introduction to that whole world of like hard rock, and it sang to the very depths of my soul, and I haven't left it ever. And so I give all the thanks to Justin for being so freaking cool. I will never be that level of cool, but for him to like give me that was such a freaking gift. And so we would like write down lyrics to like the hard songs and exchange them in the hallway. And everyone always thought that like we were secretly dating or whatever, but I was also the scary lesbian, so nobody could ever figure out like what was really happening. But we would hang out in like fields and like listen to like crazy hard music. And then his mom made him stop because she thought that we were doing horrible things, and we really weren't. I was just trying to be cool.
Oh, those are the fun days. Those are like, I mean, when you just...
when you were discovering yourself, like... Yeah. So that was when my room just like exploded with like 9 Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson. And I just like went on this whole deep, dark thing, and still there.
It's such an amazing moment though. I love it when like... finally things start, like I feel like it's for everybody. It's like finally things start to connect for you. And it's like up until then, everything is just so awkward and you're like just, it feels so weird. You don't know, like, I don't know.
And that was probably a year or so after I started writing in like an Anne Rice group that like Anne Rice actually kind of was over.
Yeah.
And so it just fit. It was just like all the worlds collided. And I was like, oh, dear dark world, here I am. I have found you finally.
Absolutely. It's like it's been waiting. And that's what I actually am. I keep telling Caden about that. And I'm like, hey, you're going to, like, this is going to be really exciting. Like, when you get, like, you just have to be patient and it takes some time. But, like, once you, like, find your, I hate saying this, it sounds so cliche with, like, RuPaul, find your tribe, but I just remember talking about it.
You
but
find your niche, you find your
group.
Yeah,
exactly. And it all makes sense. And yeah. And here we are.
But it also never changes because even at our age, children, you still are finding things out about yourself. So.
Yeah. It doesn't.
No.
So I think
it's fun to keep growing.
It is. It's amazing. And it's neat to see where it takes you.
Keep chasing those cool Justin moments.
Yeah. And hey, listening and being a lover of Leigh Bardugo is a great place to start.
Yes, we have a tribe here.
And talking about Leigh Bardugo, maybe we should get to...
What? That was a great little...
It was.
Yes.
It was fantastic to go there.
Segue.
However, we are finally at the conclusion story in Language of Thorns. So exciting. Okay. So Terry.
Yes, Eric.
What did you think?
I actually enjoyed this one.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, the last two...
I know there were...
I enjoyed the first story, which you didn't enjoy all that much. And then I enjoyed this story. It's long.
It is.
There's a lot to it. I think that we probably could have gotten the gist of it in a shorter amount of time.
There are some parts that could be dwindled down.
Yes.
Did you look at the picture stuff? Like, did you audiobook this one, or
I
did you watch?
I audio booked it. I should probably like hide my bill from people so they're not. But no, I audio booked it and then I went back and
Checked it out.
like went through. I said watch the pictures. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of is like watching the pictures because they grow obviously like the rest of it.
This one, I feel like they did. There's so much more to the visuals.
Yeah,
with
this one's
one.
extra.
It is, and I actually was like rereading it today. And did you ever we have like a little like the severed moon is actually like in this that journal. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're, but the word, like, I mean, she said like it's in here somewhere. And then there actually isn't a picture of the severed moon in the left top hand corner at one point. It's just kind of neat. And this story is so cool. I love it. And hey, there's a lot of surprises in there, don't you think? Like, I mean,
Yes.
okay, so let's talk about that. Let's just dive right in. So, obviously, you've read this, whoever is out there listening.
Everybody.
Yeah. So I was actually reading somebody else's comments about how, like, so Oola, our main character, finds out that she, like, her brother is obviously, do you know who her brother is? No?
Oola?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the Darkling, right?
Darkling, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I thought that was very like obvious. However, I was reading somebody's like comment saying how it wasn't the Darkling, that it actually was Ilya Moritsova. However, no, it is not. Rereading it today, like, I mean, because they were only taking that in the context of like a couple parts, but even that doesn't make sense. All these were like, there are so many little hints towards it being the Darkling.
Well, yeah, we've got the gray eyes. We've
Yep.
got the water
Shadows.
or the voice like glass.
The shadows
It's the same things that she uses to describe the Darkling
every time.
for the whole series. So it's the Darkling.
And what's neat is like, I mean, like I didn't catch like, so that Bagra is the mama.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because there's a point where he's like, "Come with us. I'm meeting my mom."
Yeah, I meet my mom. She's with the Suli.
Which is kind of weird. Anyway,
is.
like, come meet my mother.
Our mother.
But it's but it's her mama too. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I really love how this was very much like a lot of like The Little Mermaid.
Yes, but it's
And-
more like Ursula's story.
Yes. But there's so many, like, it's really, like, it's Ursula's story, and there's some really neat connections to, so one thing I noticed actually today, I'm sorry, I hit the mic, is, okay, so everybody can probably, like, this book compared to The Lives of Saints, because there's a story in The Lives of Saints of, it's like, I don't think it's, like, it's Ursula, that's right.
Yeah.
It's Ursula. I've always, like, after reading The Lives of Saints, I was like, well, which one is true? Because they're two different stories. However, like, I mean, because, I mean, we've had a lot of combination, like, you know, little hints from this book, too. I think these stories are actually the real true stories of these people compared to The Lives of Saints.
Yeah, I think the majority of, like, Lives of Saints, and even some in here, is more fairy tale-ish. This one is more, like, true stories of
Yeah.
so we're saying that mermaids exist in the Grishaverse.
Yeah, absolutely. Or
Because we have the Darkling and everything else. So
what are they? I'm sorry, what's the name? What are they? They're not called mermaids. It's oh god, and we listened to the audio. Come on. I actually had it.
I
like-
mean, they're mermaids.
Yeah, they are.
Still draw her.
Still draw her. Yeah. So the reason I think it's like, I mean, these stories are actual truth compared to the Lives of Saints is because on the very back of this book, it says, love speaks in flowers. Truth requires thorns. And the language of thorns, like, I mean, like, truth requires thorns. So I'm like, okay, these are real, like, because I went back and actually looked at the Ursula story in Lives of Saints, and it has nothing, like, it has no like the only thing that it has in common is the fact that there's this huge flood that happens at the end.
Yeah.
But the story was about a little girl who just didn't pray towards the saints.
Right.
It was very, I don't know, almost seemed like it wasn't her story, Ursula's story, Oola's story.
Yeah. They both start with a U.
So, but I love all the what parts did you love? What parts did you hate? I mean, is there anything that you didn't like in
There's
this
so
story?
much. Huh.
I know. I'm sorry.
there was so much that happened. It's the typical story of I'm an ugly duckling and nobody likes me. And then this gift comes about, and then all of a sudden they're drawn to her power. A lot of fantasy books happen that way.
Yeah.
Even with Alina, she's sickly looking. She in the book Oola is gray and doesn't look like everybody else. She looks sickly, Alina looks sickly, and every other woman in a fantasy book, they always start off as oh, I'm just
Quiet.
this person. I'm just a little meek little person. And then something happens and they come into their power. So it kind of followed that same storyline, especially once she came to land.
Yeah.
Then she became this gorgeous, beautiful person because that's where she belonged, really. But I feel like she actually has more power than the Darkling.
Yeah, I'm glad you think that. I'm glad because that's what I wanted to talk about. I think if she, she's obviously an amplifier then too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the whole story, I think it's neat that, it took off the whole myth of the sirens, having that magic. So,
Yeah.
and it's the whole Little Mermaid story where but I love how all the mermaids use singing as magic. Literally you would sing, and I thought that was really cool, but I think you're right. I think I definitely think she's stronger.
I feel like since they both come from that lineage, I think me personally, I don't know. I think their powers, their Grisha powers also have this twist of Merzost inherently in it.
Right.
And that's what makes their Grisha power so strong. That's just me. I'm not I can't remember if that really, but it just feels this with the songs and everything that there's this twist of Merzost in there.
Yeah. And and Merzos is in this story. I think that's what's really cool is if anybody else caught it is to have the spell at the end actually work, to be able to actually make fire that can still stay aflame underwater. The only way to do it is pretty much through blood magic, which is Merzos.
That's Merzos. Yeah, you would have to use Merzos because little sciences wouldn't allow. There's nothing in the water that would draw fire. So yeah, she would have to use Merzos to make that happen.
Which I thought was really cool for us that have read everything and to see that and she got that from she had to ask pretty much the Darkling. And I thought what was really cool though also about the Darkling's little his little cameo in this is he is obviously this is way before we get to meet him in Shadow and Bone, but he's already looking at the stag. It talks about a book, and and she notices there's a picture of a stag, which by the way, Ilya Martsova, so that's obviously another hint because he's looking at he's got to be looking at some of the journals and stuff. Oh wait, no.
Well,
no. That happens later, doesn't it? Yeah, because he doesn't have the journals for a while.
Right.
Okay. But, well, maybe he drew it. Who knows? Anyways.
But then he's hinting at he has somewhere to go.
Mm-hmm. And a huge war.
Yes. So we kind of get a hint of the storyline, of where in his storyline that they meet up.
Yep.
And I feel he's come help me, come fight with me.
So I didn't really think about that, but you're right. Like, I mean, so I mean, in his storyline, like, I mean, like he does say this is a very, like, I mean, he's got a huge war and it's going to take a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Although, why is it? So this is before the fold was created. Obviously, it should be at least. I think because he, right? Doesn't like I mean, doesn't that make sense? Like I think because he's I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I can't figure out like I mean like if he's got a very long war, then he must be going to the very big like I don't know. However, why is Bagra with the Suli? That is what I want to know.
Yeah,
She is traveling with them.
I feel like we need these questions answered. And I feel like Oola needs to come back into the story somewhere. Because we need some of these things to like tie together a little more and to like come together. It would just be great to have that.
Yeah.
Like we need like a pre
Oola story?
shadow and bone.
Oh yes.
Book.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll get that in like I mean
the illustrated.
Yeah, the Demon in the Wood. That's the revised version, or the one coming out, the graphic novel.
Yeah,
We'll get some into that.
Yeah, we need like we need this story that kind of mirrors where he is during this time, like what he's doing at this time. So we do know that he was obsessed with finding the stag and all that stuff even before Alina came around.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's trying to piece everything together, and I just think it's so. I thought it was really cool to all of a sudden have this like random little cameo happen. What did you think of the like magic of the knife that like they had to use to like become human? And like it was I thought it was kind of neat. I thought it was a little dark. It was just like
they literally like split their tail into two to make legs.
Yeah.
And then they put their scales and this knife in a little satchel.
And then you have to sing to like so like you rip yourself in half, and then you still have to finish singing and make sure that spell works so they can heal you correctly.
Yeah.
Because
and then there's people whose jobs literally are to like scoop up these naked mer people.
Mm-hmm. They are, and the only thing that's so weird.
They're not allowed to like say much or ask questions. They just come up and like scoop these naked people. Like, all right, come on.
Yep, they're naked, and hey. And so it's interesting. They've got 3 months, which sounds obviously like like that's a long summer break.
Yeah.
But and also I realized also like what's the other girl? So we got Oola and then Signy.
Signy.
You listened to the audio. I didn't. So how did they pronounce it?
In my brain, it's Signy. Signy. Signy.
Is that how they said it on the audiobook?
Mm-hmm. Because it sounded like Sydney.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she's got bright red hair.
Yes.
So that's very like Disney Little Mermaid-ish. Uh-huh.
And she wanted to live with the prince on land. So it's very Ariel.
It is. And she's longing for this prince. But I love that Oola's whole like thing the entire time is just like, I mean, she's just kind of hanging. Like, I mean, she doesn't really have any. She wants to know more, and she wishes she was like accepted a little bit more.
Yeah, she's not about that like romantic life.
Nope.
She's not about getting a king or a prince or anybody. She's okay.
And I love actually towards the end, like, I mean, after she does the crazy blood magic thing, and like, I mean, so that was really weird. Like, I mean, when you were reading that, or I bet hearing it was kind of interesting. Like all of a sudden, she's got like fire coming out of her breath. It's like a dragon. Then her hair's charred. She's got no hair, and she's just a big old ball of flame. Like literally, the line is like she lit up like a lantern, and I'm like, okay, so she is on fire. Seems like things are running a little wrong. And then it says like, I mean, her hair was on fire. So could you imagine what it was like when that fire went out? She probably like, my God, like. Oh,
it's like the mother of dragons.
Yeah, like she's probably charred, and that is some blistered skin. Like, I mean, yeah, that's right. It said her lips were blistered.
Mm-hmm.
I would have not messed with her, but that prince still was like, oh, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Yeah. I know you just breathe fire and everything, but hey, I got you. And you just gonna, And he just runs away. And I just thought that was so weird. And it's sad also. Like, I mean, it's like her friend, like who she doesn't expect that would actually abandon
Yep.
her does.
Mhm.
But and then she what I do think was really cool is the tie into this mirror. Because I thought that was so random when you hear the mirror and the Darkling introduces this mirror that all it does is mime what you're doing. However, I love that it's connected at the end to how she had enough power to create the spell that did it all.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It seemed like it mirrored not exactly what you were
Mirrored?
doing, but it mirrored, I don't know, like there was almost like a more evil version of you on the other side of the mirror,
Yeah.
kind of. Like not completely evil, but it
Right.
was like
There's something
I
else
don't know
to it.
how to
It didn't have a
describe it,
soul.
but
We know that.
yeah.
And I agree. Because, I mean, there were weird things. Like, I mean, it was just such an interesting mirror. And I love that she remembered that. And that's how, like, So, what did she turn into, though? That was my only question. Because, I mean, when she's summoning that, like, the big flood, there's a mention of, like, how, like, okay, her fin didn't come back, but she's got a tail. Okay, so, like, I mean, I was almost expecting it to turn into, like, an octopus, but it's not, is it? What? It doesn't say specifically.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's supposed to be like the sea witch.
Right. But she's got
But like,
the only mention of what happens, like, and the reason I'm saying is just because it mentions she's got this massive tail.
yeah.
And hold on, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, boom. Okay, wait. It's just interesting. The tail thing just like it threw me off. But here it is. But the scales that emerged were not silver. No, they were not scales at all. Her new tail was black and slick and muscular as an eel. So was she an eel?
I guess. Like she was more eelish than fishish.
And yeah, it's really cool. I loved this. I really did, and I like how it ends, especially that we've got this person that obviously is still like hanging out in
they're still hanging out there.
Yeah,
and she's related to the Darkling, so she's gonna live a long time.
Yeah, and she's the Darkling
That's why
sister.
I want her to like come back into the story.
Oh well, I bet she. Well, you know what? We will make her. Come on, Oola, we can come get you. I know you're stuck in your cave.
She is gonna come back and rescue the Darkling from this like Thornwood thing that's going on.
Yeah, he's stuck in that damn tree. Yeah, she would be really cool, and I would love for her to meet Baghra. She never met her mom.
Her mama?
No.
Her real mama.
So, which is interesting, learning more about Baghra. Baghra, you slept with a merman. What was that like? I'm just interested. So, when I have my interview with Baghra.
So many questions.
Yeah, so I really do need Lee to like write more about this Baghra thing because I'm intrigued.
We don't need merman porn though.
Well, I mean, no, we don't. But I mean, how that happened, girl? Just saying.
There are questions.
Yeah. Baghra obviously was a little frisky in her youth. Well, she did have the Darkling as a son. That would probably make things a little. She needed to escape.
She needed an escape.
Although, girl, how did you get with the Suli? What you doing with them?
Yeah, see, those are questions
That's
that
so
we need
random.
answered. Like, what is she doing with them?
I really that is so random.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, not going to go there. I was going to almost say, they mention, in here how when Oola notices she's not gray, that she notices her skin is very dark. Like, I mean, like, it's just like, I mean, she's more tan than everybody. Maybe she's got some Suli in her. Maybe Bagra's actually, like, got some Suli blood. Maybe she's visiting family.
Maybe.
That's a random way off the, like, I know, really, like, me just going off on a tangent. However, it could be possible. Because it did say, like, I mean, you know, she had dark skin, and that's why everybody looked at her.
Yeah.
Which apparently underwater looks gray. So,
Well, yeah. Again, it's like Alina. When you're not using your powers and you're not where you're supposed to be,
yeah.
you're looking mousy and dull.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, interesting. But Oola's still alive, and that's good. If you guys want to go visit her, she's waiting for you to come and, you know, do a bargain or something.
Come do a bargain.
Yeah, this was the story that, remember, women leave, like, loaves of bread shaped in fish.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that's what Oola loves. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's all she wants to be reminded of, is the fact that she used to live in the ocean with those mer people that, like, hurt her.
Mm-hmm. And left her.
Yep. But don't worry, she got y'all. So, okay. Oh, sorry, Mike. Oh, that was a really bad hit. That wasn't even like a normal where I just hit it. So, okay. So that was a really cool story. I've said that like 8 times. How about we go ahead and look at these images? So there's not just one image to look at. So we'll try to describe these. There's 3. And so, producer, first image. Okay, so that is the first picture that we kind of watch being created, which is the 2 mermaids. On the left, we've got Oola. On the right, we've got Signe. Yeah. And then, actually, like, I mean, this isn't going to show it, but, like, the mermaids at one point start turning red. And that leads us into our next picture. Did you ever see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then our second picture is our girls actually in human form.
Yeah.
And there's a cool little detail at the very bottom left corner of that bell that she hears. That pops up. Like, I mean, it's the way that she, like, I can't remember, like, it's how the mother, Bagra, took the bell and rang it underwater, and that's how the father came and got her.
Yes.
So, I know, you looked at me for a second like, where are you going? Where are you going, honey? I'm like, oh, don't worry, I actually got you this time.
Oh, I had to remember too, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I got this, I swear, I hope. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, so that was really cool. And then let's take it to our third image, which is just the very ending image, which is it's my favorite image of this book. It's really cool. It shows Ursula in all her magnificence.
Mm-hmm.
And she's all up in that sea. And she's got fire. And her hair is huge. You know, I mean, she grew that back. Mm-hmm. It might have gotten burnt down.
It is flowing in that storm.
It sure is. And I mean, you know, I remember, mean. I don't know where that came from.
Oh.
However, you remember those little troll dolls?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I remember just when I was like younger, I took one and lit its hair on fire.
Okay.
And I just remember what it looked like afterwards, and I kept it. It kind of like, you know.
All right.
Hey.
Okay.
That's what Ursula probably was like. I mean, when you're feeling down and out, I mean, it's like, I mean, it was a very big visual in this book, you know? Yeah. I feel like I caught on to it, however. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, there's fire underneath the water.
Yeah. And it's just a really cool.
And that's like her tail, right?
That's what I was just about to talk about. I was like, she got a hump in the back.
I think that's her tail.
It is. So she's got to be kind of this.
I think it goes up here and then down here.
See? So it turns into this massive, like, eel. And she's gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah, she's the prettiest eel ever.
She really is. I mean, that's magnificent hair. So keep that going, girl.
whatever regimen you're using on your
Girl,
hair.
it's working.
Taking your B vitamins, your collagen.
Yeah, love it. So keep it fresh. Okay, so that was. Oh wow, hey, that was fun. I'm glad we finally reached that. And yeah, so there's the Darkling sister.
Yay!
I know, how exciting. So in case you thought we were done with the Grishaverse, we ain't. We still got a little bit more, but just one more story. So, do we have any GrishaCast news?
No.
I don't have any. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So, we have one story left. The Demon in the Wood. Wood or Woods? I don't know. Can't remember. I think it's Woods.
I think so.
Yes. So, we're going to be reading, obviously, the story that is out. That was at the end of some of the Ruin and Risings.
Yes.
Not all of them, but some. There is an audiobook version. I did look that up. So, yeah, we'll be discussing that next week. And that is going to be our, oh my gosh, we're actually going to be at the end of everything written about the Grishaverse.
Crazy.
I know. So,
at least we've got more coming up. So.
Oh, yeah. And this is where it's going to get spicy and fun, y'all. So hold on. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. Okay. So I'm going to stop talking. How about that? Okay.
You do what you want.
Well, girl, I love you. Let's finish this out. We will see you all next week. We love you. Long live the Grishaverse.
We're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. It was.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at GrishaCast.com. Send an email to info@GrishaCast.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at GrishaCast.
Oh, and thank you to our amazing, amazing staff, Chris, Alex, Michelle, Sid, and Chloe.